Everyone is talking about chat. Chat this, chat that. All you have to do is put it in chat. Well, what about if AI could help you beyond chat? A lot of us are using GPT for content, but what about if you can use AI for other parts of your business to help you be more efficient, add more value to your customers, and get more done? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can use AI beyond ChatGPT. Welcome to the Hobby to Profitability podcast. We're all about figuring out what it really takes to build a successful and thriving business. I'm Jacqueline Green, marketing nerd, AI consultant, and entrepreneur who's been through it all. My goal is to help you get the strategies, the tools, and the mindset shift you need to grow your business without the stress and confusion. Every week, we'll dive into real, unfiltered side of entrepreneurship, the mindset shifts, the strategic moves, and the unexpected lessons that come with building a business. We'll talk about what actually works and what doesn't, how to navigate those changes and challenges that you face, and how to create a business that really fits into your life. If you're ready to turn your passion into profit without the overwhelm, you're in the right place. So it turns out that a few years ago, when I started using ChatGPT and some of the other AI tools, I felt like I was cheating. I would create something. I was more interested in it because of all the hype that had first come out. I think Chat had just been available to people for a couple of months. And I started looking at it and plugging in, and I was seriously just curious. Just wanted to know what this was talking about. Okay, it's going to take over the world, blah, blah, blah. We know this. But what does it really mean and what can it do? And so first I started, hold on, I can create a blog article this way. So I would put my prompts and I started playing with prompts and I would listen to other people talk about the prompts, and it really is about the prompts. What information you put into chat is about the prompts. And so I started doing that, and I felt like I was cheating, like there was something wrong with me, that I used to write these blog posts or I used to write these emails, and yeah, it took me 4 hours. Well, now it's taking me a matter of minutes. Now, granted, anything that you pull out of there, you need to read through, you need to make sure your voice is being heard, you add a story in there that's relevant, whatever. So in general, that took me from doing a blog post in 4 hours to doing one in 1 hour. That's a big difference. That's 3 hours. At that time, we were doing two a week. Right now, we're still doing 2 a week. That's a huge amount of reduction. That's 6 hours I saved just by using chat. But eventually it started becoming, okay, you could do this with chat, or you could do this with chat. And I started looking at it going, okay, how do I create more out of AI? And what can it all do? And that's when I really started realizing that we could be using AI in so many ways to simplify our business and how we operate our business. Just from the simple complexity of systems. I talk about systems a lot. If you want to grow a business from just being a job you created for yourself to really being a business that operates without you, you need systems in place. And chat can do that. But beyond just chat, you can also ask chat, hey, what tools, AI tools, are out there to help me with accomplishing this, to automate this? And so the 3 things I want to talk about today are bookkeeping and your accounting practices. I want to talk about contracts and legal documents. I don't know about you, but I can't read legal documents. It's some other language. I swear it's a foreign language that no one knows except for lawyers. The speak never makes sense to me. I know it's supposed to spell everything out, but it drives me crazy. And then also using AI as a hiring tool, how you can help you hire better. Now, if you find that these are really important and you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to the Hobby to Profitability podcast. So I'm going to tell you something. I suck at bookkeeping. I hate bookkeeping. There is absolutely nothing I like about bookkeeping. I'm a pretty analytical person, so I like looking at numbers and seeing, okay, what we need to improve on or where we need to go. I like measuring things, but for some reason, bookkeeping is one of those things that it's a mind thing for me. I just hate it. And when I first started out, I couldn't hire a bookkeeper. It just wasn't in the cards. I needed to build more profits and make more money within my business before I could truly hand that over. Another part of that was a mind shift of, it was embarrassing. I had made a complete mess of the bookkeeping. I know I was putting things in the wrong spot. I know I was recording them wrong. I would wait months before I recorded it. If you can relate to this, please subscribe, give me a comment. Tell me I'm not the only one out there who's like this. It's just numbers weren't my thing as far as it comes to bookkeeping. And so I had to figure out a way to be able to enter things. Well, AI came along and now there are a couple different tools, but what I use, of course, is within QuickBooks. I love when there's an AI tool that can actually help me. Not all of them can do this within a system I already use. And QuickBooks has this where I can just literally add in the receipts, just upload them, and it'll categorize things. It'll also look for things that are not working or that are out of the norm and let me know. And so it's automatically categorizing the transactions based on that past behavior that it has seen within my accounts. It looks and identifies spending patterns and flags unusual expenses. And it automates invoice creation and follow-up, sending reminders to the client. So once you create that invoice, it can be sent out, but then reminders are sent out. And you can create that and put all the templates you want in there of what it's going to say. Because, of course, what it says originally is like, you haven't paid your bill. It doesn't really say that, but that's how it feels. And so I like to go in there and actually write a nicer version of that. And then it also can do predictive analysis. And this is really important. Predictive analysis allows you to kind of predict what's to come based on past performance. Years ago, I worked for the S&P, one of the companies within the S&P, and they sold data and software that would literally look at past analysis of the stock market and how stocks performed and try to predict the future. So people buy this software, and that was their job, to try to figure out, really smart people, what the market was going to do. And we know how unpredictable that is. But essentially, AI is going to help us do that predictive analysis for us without having, mathematics degree. It's going to help us understand what our cash flow is and where we need to focus our time and effort. I'm all about saving time. If there is something within my business that I can save time, that is great, because what that allows me to do is something else, something more important within my business, or allow me to work a normal work week rather than overworking every single day. So how this helps the non-tech business owner is you're no longer wasting a lot of time manually entering expenses and invoices. Rather, you can put them and set it up so that they automatically go in there. Even if you're working with a bookkeeper, it's going to help you work with that bookkeeper or your accountant a lot smoother and take less of your time. The next thing that you're going to see with the inclusion of AI is just real-time financial insights. Understanding where your business is at any given point without having to call your accountant is critical, especially when you're starting out. It is easy to be like, oh, checks are coming in, I have clients, and not looking at the back end of that and saying, okay, but what are my expenses? And so too often we get into a cash flow, and no one talks about this. I noticed in business books that I've read. It's always talking, and it could be the books I'm reading, but there is a huge, one of the biggest challenges as a business owner, especially as you go to hire people, is cash flow. If you are invoicing clients and allowing them to pay 60, 90 days past the time, that means you are putting the money up front to pay for that service, whether you're hiring it out or you're doing it. And then you're working as a bank and getting paid on the back end. No matter what your service is, you need to at least take a retainer or a down payment at the beginning to help pay for that project so that you're not acting as that bank. And so when we look at that, that cash flow is really important. I worked for an architect once and I started working for him. It was my first architecture firm I worked for, and he was a solopreneur, and he wasn't invoicing. He wasn't billing at appropriate time. He also wasn't tracking who wasn't paying him. He had enough money in the bank. He was doing just fine. But what he didn't realize is that he wasn't staying on top of it, which was screwing up other people's accounting. And it really was screwing up his business, because you can't just let people not pay in a timely manner. And so that, of course, has to be spelled out in your contract, which will bring me to my next point. So by using an AI tool to help you in this area is really going to help you overcome that feeling of just overwhelming and ignoring or procrastinating what has to be done. You can't get away from this. Now, there are a couple of things I have to add disclaimers to this. One, you have to have a CPA. Period, end of story. When you start doing business taxes, you need a good CPA. So this does not take the place of your CPA. Nor, if you're doing a lot of transaction, nor does it take away from a bookkeeper. But if you're starting out, this can help you at least stay somewhat organized. I would still rely on your bookkeeper, but if you work on inputting it and then the bookkeeper tests everything or checks everything after you've inputted it, whatever your system is with your bookkeeper, AI can help with that. Let's be real. Random marketing tactics aren't going to grow your business. It's like throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping the spaghetti will stick. If you're tired of spinning your wheels, or in this case, throwing spaghetti, then it's time to take a smarter approach. The Marketing Momentum Workshop is built for small business owners just like you, who need real results, not just more marketing noise. In one 4-hour session, we will work with you to pinpoint the best strategies and create a roadmap for your business that's going to help it grow. Take the first step. Book your free marketing health check now at behindthedesignco.com, and let's get your business moving in the right direction. Now, the second tool or way to use AI that you may not have thought about is contracts and legal documents. Have you read a contract? One, is the driest thing ever, but two, I promise, I think they put extra words in there just for extra words, not because it makes any sense. And I get that every contract has to be very detailed. You have to spell it out in a way. But I promise you, legal jargon is another language altogether. And so for me, when I get a legal contract, how many times have you gone through a legal contract and been, okay, that's fine, and just signed off on it? Which is absolutely wrong for your business, because it could sit in there in the middle of it and say, hey, we want your firstborn child, and you just signed away your firstborn child. Now, if your child is a teenager, you might be like, okay, here you go. But for the rest of us, we have to really pay attention to the contract. But I will start to read these contracts, especially real estate contracts for our real estate investment business. And I'm like, my eyes glaze over. It's like reading a textbook, even worse. So what you can do is you can use AI to read through the contract and tell you the important things. Put it in jargon and words that you understand, that the average human understands, that you don't need a legal mind to be able to read the contract. That, for one, is the easiest thing in the world that you can do and can really help your business and protect you. Now, it also can identify if there's something weird in the contract. And that's when, okay, you're going to consult your lawyer on this particular contract because there's something weird. I don't like the language of this. This is the words. So you can use AI to really look through these documents. You can also use AI to create your contracts if there's something weird. Here's my recommendation. If paying for a lawyer is just out of the realm of possibilities right now to create your standard contract. What I would do is I would go through AI, and you can do this within chat. I know this episode says beyond chat, and ask it what needs to be included in my contract. Have it help you write the contract, write all the details you want in that contract, then take that contract template, then send it to the lawyer and say, can you please review this and let me know what needs to change? To create your standard contract is a lot easier, and it's easier and less expensive if you create the first version or the draft and you have somebody look at it. So then the lawyer is spending an hour, maybe to 3 hours of their time versus, 8 hours. It'll save you money and save you time. It also kind of helps educate you on what is included and why it's important within your contract. And so DocuSign apparently has an AI-powered contract generator now. I have not tested it. There's also something called Logix. I don't know that one either. And so I have not tried it. So I have my standard template. It works for 95% of the work I do. I would say it actually works for 99% of my clients. It's not a lot, but it will help you as far as if there is something that you need to add into a contract that is a quick blurb or something that's unusual. You could definitely use AI to add into your contract. But I highly recommend, here's my disclaimer, that you consult a lawyer on any documents that are unusual or beyond your main template that you've created with the help of a lawyer. So AI can scan legal documents. It can help you compare the contract, legal standards, or suggest necessary edits if there's something weird you don't understand. It also can use natural language processing to generate contracts based on a common legal template. So that's that template I talked to you about of create your legal template, and you can use AI to generate those contracts for you. The benefits here are that you don't have to stress over complicated legal language. You don't have to read these before you go to bed and fall asleep to them. You can do a quick review and edit accordingly and actually be able to sign a contract within whatever your standards that you've created without consulting a lawyer every single time. This saves you money, it saves you time. And then you also know that you have sound agreements within minutes instead of days. So again, my disclaimer, make sure you are hiring a lawyer to create your actual contract template. After that, you don't necessarily need the lawyer unless it's something that's just out of the norm or doesn't fit within the standards that you've established with your lawyer. Now, the third way you can use AI beyond chat is hiring people. Now, this takes a long time, and I have heard that a lot of people, when they post a job, you might get 100 applicants. Okay, well, how do I look at 100 different resumes and they don't start blending all together? You don't. It's really hard. But if you're looking for certain criteria, what you can do is there are tools out there that can help you run through all those resumes and really pull out the ones that you should be talking to. Who are the people that really meet the criteria that you want? And help you then screen through the resumes. It can also help doing a video interview and analyze a video interview for things like body language, tone, word choice, any of those kind of things. You can also use AI as a chatbot. So I don't know if you knew this, but ChatGPT, all ChatGPT is a chatbot. So when we talk about chatbots as a customer service, all that is basically something like a ChatGPT. You ask it questions, it gives you an answer. The difference is if you're using it for customer service, you've actually inputted the answers you wanted to answer. The same with applicants and same with answering the frequently asked questions. There are actually AI chatbots that can help you with hiring. So the benefits here is that you save hours from sorting through resumes and become brain dead. You avoid costly hiring mistakes, and you automate scheduling. And so those are a lot of things that really kind of can help you. Setting up your interviews, just something simple like that. Calendly does a great job of helping you with that. But giving that simple link to somebody and say, here's the times available. Please schedule your appointment here for your interview. So this is really taking away that hiring overwhelm, and it acts as a recruitment tool. Now, you still get the final say of who you want to hire. It still comes down to, is this person going to fit within our organization? Do they have the skills that we need? But AI can at least get you to the point where you're only talking to the few that meet those criteria versus all 100. Okay, so today we talked about how AI can help with bookkeeping and financial management. We talked about how it can help contracts and reading legal documents. And we talked about hiring and recruitment and how AI can help you find and screen candidates. Now remember, AI is not just about content. It is so much more. And I truly believe that small businesses are going to get a good edge over bigger businesses by using AI. There are so many opportunities for us to save time, money, and provide more value to our customers using AI. So if you thought this episode was really useful, please be sure to subscribe to our podcast. That really helps us as we get the word out for Hobby to Profitability. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the secret psychology of high converting offers. If you're struggling to get people to buy, this episode is for you. It will change how you structure your products and services, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you for listening to the Hobby to Profitability podcast with Jacqueline Green. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend. You can learn more about Behind the Design at our website at behindthedesignco.com, and be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn or subscribe to the Behind the Design channel on YouTube for more great business growth strategies. Now, I'll see you next time.